Good evening and thanks for joining us. The Cardinals are asleep by now inside their hotel in Vatican City. Their first vote on the first day of the conclave was inconclusive, so they'll begin again in the morning. We live in a digital age, but at the Vatican, they are still old school. Conclave means with key. The Cardinals are locked up. The voting is all secret, and the first the world will know a new man has been chosen is from that puff of smoke. Sean Mallon is in Rome tonight with more on the tradition and the theater. Sean?
Donna, the cardinal electors have now retired for the night at the Domus Sancta Martha, St. Martha's house, the hotel specially built next door to St. Peter's for just this purpose. It is a modest place to sleep after a day of grand spectacle. There is no election in the world to match it. With solemn ceremony in a sublime setting, 115 men processed into the Sistine Chapel for a decision that will change one of their lives and touch 1.2 billion Catholics. Canada's contender Marc Ouellet and the rest each swore an oath to secrecy. And then,
extra omnes.
Everybody out, he said in Latin, and the conclave began. Although they are men selecting a man, most said in advance that they were looking for divine guidance.
I'm sure they have human considerations, but at the same time they all try to bring this human consideration, I guess, at a spiritual level, where they do it from the heart or not. I mean, we cannot tell, we are not in there.
They began the day with a mass at St. Peter's, the service led by a cardinal who won't be voting because he's over 80. Angelo Sodano called for unity, for all to pray for the electors, and paid tribute to the Pope Emeritus, Benedict. In particular, we want to thank him for the brilliant pontificate, said Sodano. The crowd burst into applause. The ex-pope was said to be watching it all on television. Out of sight in the chapel, each cardinal is encouraged to disguise his handwriting as he scrawls his name on a ballot. One who participated in the last conclave says there is a kind of lobbying that goes on.
So a cardinal might come up to you and say, come on, you're going to vote for him? But I think most cardinals would have gone in with one or two candidates in mind.
And if they weren't already keenly aware of the import of their deliberations, they need only look up to gaze upon Michelangelo's Last Judgment. Although this is an inherently unpredictable process, the thinking is that if a pope is chosen by, say, Thursday morning, it may well be one of the favorites, which would include Marc Ouellet. If it goes on longer than that, it indicates deadlock and perhaps a surprise winner. Donna?